The Acolyte of Star Wars, Episode 3. Was it better? Was it worse? Or more of the same? Let's talk about it. All right, guys, Brent here back with Geek Variants. We cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, The Acolyte. And I'm the old fan, but we want to hear from the new fan first. Will, your thoughts on Episode 3, Destiny of The Acolyte?
Did this get better? The jury's still out. And the reason I'll say why the jury's still out is because we have a flashback episode which takes part 16 years prior. And again, it's kind of his own contained thing. So the bad writing and choreography that we had from episode 1 and 2 are going to carry over probably from 4 on. They don't really affect 3. So we'll leave it at. But 3 as a standalone by itself, 3 was solid. 3 explained some stuff that we need to have explained. We got a bit more understanding. They're going into the twins. We see them interacting together, so like that. More about witches, full names. Verosha is the full name of Osha, and then Mayho is her full name. Their creation, which again, some magic stuff there, kind of some think Scarlet Witch, vibes. And yeah, just more or less what you want to do, what you don't want to do. So I think it was a solid episode just for kind of explaining some stuff. I think they should have led with this episode. I think me and Brent both agree. Like, if you would have led with this, maybe just changed up a couple things or order a couple things, you could have left a little bit more mystery and then have us wanting to watch the rest. Whereas right now, I'm still not wanting to watch the rest. I'm going to watch it, but I'm still like, okay, I may have one small question, like, what happened here? And then once I figure it out, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm disconnected. I don't need anything else. So that's just kind of where I stand with it right now. He's got more insight on how it works. So, Brent, do your thing.
So, with all things Star Wars, we need to talk about our location. Brendok, completely isolated planet. They're in a coven all by themselves, which draws in the question: how in the world did May? Well, I mean, how in the world did Osha, Osha, know exactly who the Jedi were? If you were raised in a coven where no one outside of the coven has made their way to your planet, why in the world are the Jedi being discussed? A. And B. Why are the Jedi even being discussed in a glowing light to where this child thinks the very enemy of where they have been raised their entire life thinks things are okay outside of where they're currently living? This is taking a child from their home, their family, and she's literally deciding that the Jedi, albeit, the living situation wasn't ideal, especially from a child's eye view where your only sibling is the butterfly torturer sister that you have. So there's that. She literally chose the Jedi over her own family, even though she's been raised, by this family the whole time. And there's something that needs to obviously be discussed. These two coven witches, Coral, and you may have to help me out on the other one's name. I wrote it down so sloppily. Ansania? Ansani?
Yeah, the mother, just
Yeah, the mother and
mother and
Coral
Coral. Or
were literally apparently so powerful in the Force, or the thread, as they're calling it, that they were able to create human life out of nothing. The only other time that this has ever been seen and done is Anakin Skywalker. Just so we're clear, the only other person whose life was created was Anakin. And it was by Palpatine and his master, Darth Plagueis. They created life out of nothing, impregnated Anakin's mom in the galaxy far, far away in Tatooine, way on out in the middle of nowhere. And boom, Anakin's birth happened, and we all kind of know how that ended in a great ball of fire. I don't know how we're just going to introduce these two characters who are supposedly so powerful they're able to mind penetrate a Jedi and make them cripple, but then have their entire coven get wiped out and eliminated immediately. Just saying, there's some kind of force power inconsistency we're drawing here. And on top of that, we have Soul, who is diving to save Osha and literally saves her using his hand, even though he's a Jedi who can use the Force and could have caught both of them using the Force. I understand the Force is cool and it's great you're showing me all these diverse powers. I would expect them to be used properly, or at least logically, at some moment in time. So the fact that it hasn't been addressed, I feel is terrible in of itself. But now that we're saying there's another Force user out there who could potentially be stronger than Mother Talzin, who was the queen of the Dathomirian witches, who literally had Darth Maul show up and was the one that General Grievous had to go personally and handle with Count Dooku and the Separatists. Yeah, these random rogue Jedi from 100 years ago shouldn't be able to touch her. So there's going to be a lot of explaining that needs to be done here in the next couple episodes pertaining to this. This episode was a significant step up in terms of the writing and the dialogue and the intrinsic nature of building depth to these characters. I think those were great steps. But overall, there's still major consistencies and inconsistencies that now you will have to address. The writers for episode 3, good job. But because of 1 and 2, I'm in the same boat as Will. I'm not as excited as I should be, and there's still lore and more stuff to break down and really delve into and dive deep, a clear look at the comparisons that we're drawing and how easily things are happening. Some things need to be addressed in terms of power scaling, which is a conversation for another day. But this episode on its own, I would say is like a 7.5 out of 10 for me. It was better than the other two by a lot.
I mean, after you just explained some things here, like it's definitely gone down for me because it's like, yeah, like with the power scaling, I forget, force thing is force is able to use, but you got Master Indara, like, where is she? What is she doing? So at that, she's the one who should be most, I guess, in tune with the force because she's the master. It's like she's the master, she's got colleagues and a Padawan. It's like, couldn't they have used some force powers to do some stuff? Wouldn't she feel kind of stuff going on, or they need to get up in there and handle stuff, or they just too busy doing dirty stuff to not pay attention to any of that? It's like, you go get the girls. I'm going to murder all these people up here. And it's weird because, again, Master Indara is supposed to be powerful, but we see her get murked so easily in episode 1, and it's 16 years later. Like, you ain't got no better. I don't know.
Did she just take a step back because of age regression, or because the plot demanded it so that these Jedi would start
And
going
Yoda was
off
getting
one
it
after the
in.
other?
Yoda was getting it in when he was old. I mean, whatever.
And
I'm
Sir
over it.
Christopher Lee was getting it in as Dooku as well. Like,
I'm
the
over
old
it.
people be showing out.
Yeah. So
And the Palpatine doing a Force 360 jump from his chair. I mean, come on. These things have happened. There are some inconsistencies that, from diehard fans' perspective, really needs to be addressed. And at the same time, the Jedi are on one. They are being portrayed straight up as cops. There is no indirect writing about this. They are shoving their nose in business that they should not have shoved their nose into. They're demanding that people abide by the laws that they themselves are not following. And they're literally trying to take these children that, while children have the right to take the test, they can also outright refuse. So the fact that Jedi are imposing themselves in this manner, they should be held responsible for what happens. So for the Padawan Torben to feel as strong as he did to drink that poison, something heinous had to have happened that will need to be explained clearly in the next couple of episodes. That being said, I don't have anything else I really want to get off my chest. I think I've said it all.
no, I'm good. I'm done. Pineapples. I don't like it.
That being said, if you're not done with the channel, be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button, bottom right icon just below Will, or in this red box below. You'll be seeing us Thursday for a live stream of The Boys. We're still hashing out the times for when that drops because Amazon likes doing mystery drops as opposed to announcing it publicly for everyone to understand and set up their live streams accordingly. But we have tons of great content, stream, all that good stuff dropping for you guys over the weekend, as well as the continuation of the Fallout 4 playthrough I've been doing for you guys blind. See you in the next episode.